Hi friends, it's Kathy, and welcome to my YouTube channel, It's in the Cards Divination. Today's reading is going to be the week ahead. Even though today is December the 11th, it can be any week ahead as to when this applies to you. So if you tune in a year's time, it's your week ahead. Okay, so what's coming? What can you expect to come this week? So I'm going to do a pick-a-pile reading, as you can see, only this time we're going to be picking based on cards as opposed to crystals. So first, before we get started, I'd just like to ask if you would be so kind, you could subscribe to this channel, click on the like button as well as the bell for notifications of future videos. So, the pick a pile reading this week is answering the question, what is coming? We're going to be pulling 5 cards, each 2 cards. The first 2 cards are the beginning of the week, the middle card is the middle of the week, and the last 2 cards are going to be towards the end of the week, okay? So, first of all, let me just say this is a general reading, so if it does not apply to you, you can always pick another pile and see if that resonates. If not, the other pile. The link to the timestamps will be in the description box below. Okay, so first pile for you to choose from for this week is the Temperance card. The second is the Strength card. And the third is the Chariot card. Okay, so my friends, if you want to pause this video now and resonate, or not resonate, but actually meditate on what resonates for you, then you can go to that specific reading for you for your week ahead, what you could expect. So pause the video and I'll see you on the other side. On pile number 1, if you chose the Temperance card, then this is your reading. I'll put that over there. Right, let's see what Kipper has to say for the week ahead. I had decided to pull an oracle card as a main theme for the week. And it looks like this week's main theme is soul solitude, which actually tells me it's not a bad thing to spend time on our own this week recharging our battery. Often we like to do that when we binge watch our favorite shows, read a book, listen to music. Basically, the oracle's telling us, spirit's telling us it's okay to just relax and recharge our batteries this week, especially with the upcoming holidays. Right, so let's just dive in and see what's happening this week. Towards the beginning of the week, for some of you, it appears that there is some confusion, possibly, about a vacation, an upcoming future vacation. Could be a trip you're taking over the Christmas holidays. The confusion is around money, whether or not it's going to cost you enough money. It's the traveling, it's the money for the actual traveling, not the money you would spend on the trip. It's the cost of the transportation. But you have it, but there is a concern coming up about it. You can see it's the concern is about the actual trip. Okay. For some of you, it could be as mundane, when I say mundane, or every day this week, as your commute to work. There are problems, there are doubts about it. And I'm sensing it's around the transportation itself as far as your vehicle, your maybe your bus, if you take the bus, if you take the train to work, those types of things. There seems to be some issues there around that, whether or not you'll actually be able to use that form of transportation this week. That's near the beginning of the week. And unexpectedly, there's some income, which is really good with respect to this. So you're going to, around the middle of the week, it looks like you may receive a little bit of extra money coming your way, which is always nice, okay? But unfortunately, as money comes in, money also goes out, right? So next to the message of concern, you're possibly going to be receiving some kind of message towards the end of the week about a bill, an upcoming payment you have to make. Because even though the unexpected income comes in, it also goes out when it's next to a negative card. So you can see there's good news on this side. There's money for the trip, but, and you will be able to, it looks like you will be able to. Then all of a sudden this week it might change towards the end of the week and you have to pay a bill that you didn't expect. Okay. Unfortunately, that is in with respect to those that are actually taking a vacation. For those of you, if it's in relation to getting to work, it might be your vehicle, could be a flat tire, could be a vehicle issue you may have to deal with towards the end of the week. Bill you didn't expect to have to pay. It's usually not huge though when it's unexpected income. So it could be as simple as just paying to get your tire fixed or, just a minor. It doesn't appear to be a major issue. Um, then what happens is because this bill that you have to pay, it's enough that you're probably just going to say at the end of the week, I think I'm just going to stay home Friday or Saturday and just chill at home, possibly because of this. Okay. So it doesn't start off very well this week as far as, there's some confusing thoughts and doubts about whether or not this trip is going to happen. And it's the cost of it, this vacation. And then you possibly do receive a little bit of money to take care of that. Then you have to pay it out for something else at the end. So, I mean, it's like we always say, right? Money in, money out. So, I the good news is, towards the end of the week, it looks like you have a time of respite and quiet time on your own in the solitude and comfort of your own home. And that's what this soul solitude is telling you. Just relax and stay home. Things are going to be fine this week, okay? So I hope that makes sense to some of you. And unfortunately, there might be some of you that have to pay for some repairs this week. So it's more irritant than a huge problem, I see. But unfortunately, you will receive a bill. Okay. So, my friends, pile number one, I hope this made sense to you. I would be interested to find out how your week goes this week and if any of this resonates for you. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. On pile number two, if you chose this card, then this is your reading. Let's see what Kipper has to say about this week. So, the main theme around this week for pile two, I pulled an oracle card and it relates to stand your ground. So, this is sort of the main mantra for you this week. Stand your ground. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. Okay. Start with the beginning of the week. Actually, if this is a female who's listening to this reading, this represents you. Okay. If it's not, and it is a man listening to this represents his significant partner that he's with. Okay. Or if it's related in with respect to a work situation, which I don't feel it is, that would be, say, a female boss if you're a male, or that would be, as I say, yourself if you're a woman. Okay, so let's start. It looks like these two cards are at the beginning of the week here, and it appears we'll assume that you're the woman asking or listening to this video. You have received some advice about a situation, a process you have to go through, and it looks like you're ignoring it. And that's this beginning of this week. Somebody's been trying to help you. Okay. And I believe based on this card, stand your ground, it looks like that's probably good advice as far as ignoring. Because what it is going forward this week, what you're looking at, what's facing you for most of you, there's a new situation coming up in your finances. There's some financial um, mail that you could be having an appointment with this week. It could be your banker, it could be a financial planner, advisor, and you're going to be meeting with him about some changes in your financial situation. This isn't good. This is not a bad thing. Okay. So, towards the end of the week, you're going to be making a change. For some people, this could even be buying a car, could be literal. Perhaps you're trying to go to the bank to get a loan to buy, or even at the dealership to buy this car. So this is exciting coming this week for some of you. Or others could actually be thinking of moving. Maybe they want to move into a different home or apartment or a new residence. Again, the same thing. You will be meeting this week, towards the end of the week, with this individual about this new enterprise. And you'll get some really good advice from this wealthy man. He often represents accountants, bankers, that type of thing when it comes to the Kipper readings. So basically, what they're telling you, although this change, as you can see, it ends here. And what that means is going forward, the change still has to occur. So this ends at the end of this week, but it's going to be carried over into the next upcoming weeks as to what's going to happen. Whether it is buying a new vehicle, as literally shown in this picture, or actually moving premises, or just making a financial change in some way with your bank or an investment. It's all good. It looks really good. Okay. For some of you, if it's not in reference to a financial, well, it could very well be. You see, for some of you that have children, you're concerned about their future. I'm wanting to make a change so that the finances will take care of the child in the future going forward. For some of you, that could look like um, maybe an RESP here in Canada where you can purchase for their education. You've received some advice in the past that didn't quite sound like something that sounded good to you. Okay. So, as I say, you've ignored it. Now it's time to go forward with this idea. So, it is definitely something that you want to do to help your child. So, this could actually represent your actual child or children going forward. So, in other words, this is going to affect them in the future, but in a positive way. All right. So, on a more mundane level, could just be you've got things you have to do with your vehicle that you need some money for, not in a negative way. Maybe some of you, you want to put down money on your loan, pay off your vehicle sooner, right? Because now something new is coming up for you and at this point in time. So maybe you've just received the money and you're able to take your savings and put it towards your new vehicle or the vehicle you bought and now you want to put some money down on it. Either way, it's a positive reading this week. So pile number 2. I hope this resonates. I'd appreciate hearing as going forward as to how this week goes for you. But remember, the Oracle card and Spirit is telling you stand your ground. So if there's something you really believe you need to do it. Okay. As long as it helps someone else going forward this week. All right. So I'll leave that with you and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. For now, hi, pile number 3. If you chose the Chariot, then welcome to your reading. This is your reading. Okay. So let's see what Kipper has to say about the week ahead, pile 3. I chose an oracle card for you to give us a sort of theme this week. It's all about choices, making choices. Okay. So, so the beginning of the week is represented here by this woman. Now, this is an older woman in your life this week, early in the week, who is predominant. And she can be a mother figure, she can be a grandmother, she can be an auntie, she can be a boss. an older, more mature woman, at least older than you per se. She's in charge. Okay. And it looks like the beginning of the week, she's laying down the rules, laying down the law about what her expectations are this week with you. Okay. And she's not being very nice about it. It's like, okay, this is my way or the highway, and this is the way it is. You had a lot of hope that things would be a little easier with her this week. Towards the middle of the week, you're thinking, well, maybe it won't go so badly. You have to make a choice this week, or choices about what you're going to do with this person, it looks like. Because what happens towards the end of the week, there's a you have a lot of expectation and hope that maybe this person will come around and they won't have all these rules enforced in your life, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. At the end of the week, it looks like you are definitely restricted and not able to do something, okay? It could be as just as simple as around if somebody gets sick and they don't want you to come around or go to work, and this means you have to stay home. By the end of the week, there's this feeling that you're being held back from a situation. And it looks like you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to put up with it or whether or not you're going to agree to their rules. Okay. It feels like it is around obviously a money issue. There is, for some of you, it could even be maybe you owe this woman some money and there's this expectation that she wants it back. And it looks like towards the end of the week, you don't have a choice. This is something that she's going to keep her ground on, okay? You're going to feel like, yes, this is something I have to do. I'm confined to this agreement, okay? Now, even though it is a choices card over here, it feels very much like this week for you, pile three. You don't have a choice, but that's not the case. We always have a choice. It's just not maybe the choice that's the easiest to make, right? So this woman, as I say, this week, she's very predominant in your life, and she's very stern and is laying down the law, the rules about her expectations from you. Okay, you thought maybe you could wait. I think that's really what is going on this week for you. You thought you could wait and put this off for a while, but it's not going to happen. It looks like you are going to have a lot of restrictions around this situation that you have to adhere to, okay, this week. And so you're not getting off too easy, I'm afraid. So I don't know if that resonates with anyone here. I hope it does. I'm feeling that it's more about, as I say, it's about your hopes on this issue. You had hoped that you could probably just wait a couple months on this. Well, it's not going to fly for you, okay? Towards the end of the week, yes, you're going to be feeling like this guy feels, right? Stress and not so great towards the end of the week. Some people, what came up in my own intuition, for some of you, it could even be around the holidays. You know how we all have these expectations, especially the older generation, as to how the holidays are supposed to go. Maybe you thought, no, no problem. I can do things the way I want to do them. But she's basically telling you, this is what I'm hoping will happen, okay? And it looks like you have to make a choice. Are you going to go along with her idea and her rules about this situation? That's the choice aspect. And so sometimes when it's, like I say, when it's around the holidays, it's how they want to have their traditions, how they want to celebrate the holidays. So for some of you, you're going to feel very you have no choice. You have to go along with it, and you're just going to try to make the best of it, okay? So I will leave that with you, and I'd be interested to know if this resonates with anyone for this week. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next reading. Take care and have a great week. Bye for now.